So like this side, I'm gonna teach you the way I do it for you, but it's me that's the most simplest way to fade. Okay, and I'm gonna do it the way I do it. My guidelines, so you can copy them essentially later on when you do it yourself. So when I draw my bald line, I go to the bottom of the middle of the ear or whatever this is called. I draw it in a straight line right there. So I completely bald it to the bottom of there. Don't gotta be perfect. Or just draw the clipper there, make a straight line. Now that's balded out. And to bald it even more, I'm gonna hit it with the shaver. This side, or this step, I do on both sides. Like the next way I'm gonna teach you to fade is gonna be the same exact thing. Balding, there's no other way to bald. But fading, there's different ways to fade. There's the old school way, and then there's the traditional way where everybody does it now. And we're gonna start with the way everybody does it now, which is creating guidelines. So we can hair straight down. Your next guideline is the no guard, completely open, and I go to the bottom of the ear. This is your next guideline. Okay, this whole inch is your next guideline. So it's completely open. Go to the bottom of the ear and scoop out. Push in, scoop out. But stretch the skin to get some of those hairs that aren't coming out. Push in, scoop out. I want everything from the bottom of this ear and up to be completely open. And you gotta apply pressure to get most of those hairs. So this is not something you want to put light pressure on. You want to get everything even. Makes it easier to transition. Now, I have it where everything to the bottom of this ear is open. It's completely open. It's to this level of the clipper. We have a hard line from the ball that I balded out to this. Even this line right here is open. So you have a bald line to completely open. To fade out this line, you start off the way I do it is you start off close and you pick off at the line. So you go to the line and start flicking out at it. And you'll start seeing the line move down a little bit. So I'm not starting here and flicking out. I'm flicking right at the line, like a millimeter, like right under it, flicking out. Using the corners for like the edges. And now you can see like a little bit of a line right here or dark spots. And to fade that out, I go straight to the middle. Other hair textures will be a little different. Sometimes I have to go like 2/4 of the way in, 2/4 of the way out. But for you, I go straight to the middle. Use my corners, get those little dark spots. You can hear the hair cutting. And you got like, this is me doing detail work, but you can see little hairs in here that I don't like. So pretty much that's close to the bald line I created. So the separation from the bald line to the open. So since that's pretty much where I went, where the clipper was closed, I'm gonna close it again. Try and fade that out. Use the corner of the guard. And pretty much like I said, you want to fade it back and open. So I'm gonna go 3/4 of the way and try and blend that in a little more. By the time you're done, it's gradient into the completely open. I'm back at the bottom of the ear. There's no more line here, and down here it's completely open. So the next thing you do is go to the next guard, which is 1. This is your 1 guard. Same thing. The way I draw my line, the guidelines in the beard, I'm not gonna go straight. I'm gonna angle it, because if you go straight, then you're gonna have to go like this. So that's not gonna work. I angle my guidelines in the beard angled. And again, I'm gonna go down pretty much an inch or close to an inch. these hairs right here are cutting because you have to go with the grain. Brush them down if you have to. And it looks like you already shaved your beard down kind of low. So this one open is pretty much kind of blending into your beard. And this is where you gotta kind of have an eye, because the line is very, very faint, but there's still a line I have to blend out. Now, typically from a no guard to a 1, you soften this line up by closing it. But instead of how I did it with the no guard, I went all the way through with the lever. I'm just gonna close it, go to where that line is at, lighten it up. And some hair textures just blend in. You won't need to go to your blending guards like the 1/2 or the 0. Like your hair is already faded in. I don't see too many spots I need to work on. This is gonna get lined up anyways, so a lot of this gets cut off, so I don't worry about too much over here. But you still have a line right here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up good, but you still have a line right here that I see. So me being somebody who likes to be detailed, I'll go to a blender guard, which is the 1/2. And I always start the 1/2 midway. I don't ever start the 1/2 close. I always start it midway, just to gauge how much it's cutting. So there's a dark spot right here. You'll see it. There's a dark spot right there. I'm gonna use the corner because I don't want to cut anything else but that dark spot. It's me doing detail work to get the fade more gradient. Now you still have that line right here, so I'm gonna close it and lightly jab at it. I don't want to dig in and draw and make it go down lower. As you can see, it's pretty much blended in, and now you have like a little roundabout right here. I don't know what your beard is at or what you cut it at, but now I gotta blend this little roundabout from the 1 open into the rest of your beard, which will most likely be a 2. So again, I went from a 1 open, now I went to the 2 open, open the 2, and I'm gonna go like an inch down. I'm going this way with the clippers because I have to go with the hairs, or against the hair. And over here the hair is going down, so I have to go up. But over here the hair is going left, so I have to go right to be able to cut it. You know, I brush it back to the way it was at. Now most of the time to blend from a 2 into a 1 open into a 2 open, you have to use the 1.5 card, which is the guard in between the 1 and the 2. So the only really dark spots I see are like right here. Everything else pretty much blended in. This is the 1.5. For a 1.5, I'll usually start close. Different people, different techniques. So for your hair, I'll usually start with close. Open it as I go down, and it'll open up, or it'll fade into the 2 open. And now I'm almost all the way open with the 2. Or this is the 1.5. I'm almost all the way open with it. And you have a little dark patch right there, which I'm going to use the 2 to get rid of. I'm going back to the 2 because I went here with the 2 open. So to get a little dark spot, I'm going to use my corner, and I'm 2/2, or halfway into the 2 guard. I'm just going to lightly flick at that dark spot. Open it up a little bit to blend it. And then the lineup we pretty much bring it together. It's pretty much faded in. Went from bald to no guard to 1 to the 2. Pretty much once I line it up, it'll all blend together. Now I'm gonna show you the other side with a different technique. Alright, this can be the other way of fading. And pretty much the other way was guidelines. So again, starting from the bald is gonna be the same no matter which way you do it. The ball line there's no change in the ball line. I go to the bottom of here for you. For other people, I go to different areas. And for you, I go to the bottom of that part of your ear. I create places in your head that I want to create the guideline at. So I'm creating sections, visual sections where I want to stop. Now this is where I'm not going to go the traditional route. I'm going to go, I guess you could say, the old school way. But I'm not creating this way. I'm not creating guidelines. So like I told you before, what fading, all it really is fading all the way to open. So the other side, I had you go open all the way to the bottom of the ear. So I'm gonna, instead of me making this whole area open, I'm gonna make sure I end this no guard open at the bottom of the ear. So I'm not gonna draw any guidelines. So I'm gonna start straight from the hard line, from bald. So I'm gonna start blending it out. Pull the skin if you have to, because sometimes it won't cut unless your skin is tightened up. It's pushing it down a little bit, so I open it up a little bit. And by the time I'm done with this, I want to be at the bottom of the ear. I didn't create no guideline, but this is essentially what you're doing with the guidelines on the way I did it on the other side. I opened it up a little bit more. I want to finish right here when I'm done with this. So now I'm about to be at the bottom of the ear, right here. And so now pretty much that whole thing is faded in. They can do some detail work, but it's pretty much all faded in without me having to create this whole inch all the way open. I never had to create a guideline. That's pretty much the basis of fading. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the 1 guard. Right now I'm just doing a little bit of detail work. You got a dark spot right here. You probably won't see it, but me cutting your hair a lot, I'm gonna attack it. You got a dark spot right there. You probably won't notice it, but me, I'm gonna clean it up. It's my work, so I'm gonna clean it up. I remember where I was at when I drew or faded that in. So I'm gonna bring the clipper close to that lever position. So I'm gonna go in there until that fades out, hit it with the edge, so I'm not hitting any other hairs. You got a little spot right here. I was pretty much right here when I was at that spot. If that doesn't get it, I'll go up a little more until it does. What I mean, if that's not getting erased by it being here, I'm gonna go up because it's not being cut. Like I said, this is little detail work. But pretty much you're faded in without creating a single guideline. So now, same thing. I'm not gonna create a 1, I'm not gonna go down an inch and create a 1 guideline. I'm gonna start from the 1. And most of the time the 1 to a no guard open doesn't fade that line out. But I'm gonna show you how to fade it out anyways. So typically, like I did on the other side, this I will make it from here to here, or an inch, open. So all this hair right here will be completely open, the size of an open 1. I'm not gonna do that. This is the basis of fading. So I'm gonna start closed, attack the line right here that's left, go at that line, and flick out. And this side is cooperating better than the other side because it faded that line out pretty good. Now I'm gonna go half. And by the time I get to here, I want to be open. So now I'm all the way open. sure you brush your hairs down so they're not sticking up so you can get them. Because some of them are being brushed up. But you'll be able to see it because I can see it clear as day. There's a dark spot right here that needs to be faded in. I'm going to see if I can get it with the one closed. Use the corner and tighten the skin. And like I said, use the corners because you don't want to touch any hair, but there's a little dark spot. The one closed is barely getting it. That's where the blender guard will come in. So I'm gonna go down to what same thing I did on the other side. I'm gonna use a half guard, and the same thing with your hair. I start with the half guard halfway open, just to see how it's hitting that line. You can see this little rainbow shape right here. So I'm gonna see if this half open gets it, which is not. I'm gonna close it a little more. Then I'm listening to see if it's cutting the hair, and I'm looking to see if it's cutting the hair or fading that line out. It's not. So I'm gonna close it a little more. So pretty much that U shape is disappearing with me closing the half guard. And there's a little spot right here I don't like. You won't see it. The half guard close isn't getting that. And what's under a half guard close? You take this off. Half guard under a half guard close will be a no guard open. So I'm gonna use a corner and try and get that little dark spot I'm showing you I don't like. This is me showing you detail work. So there's a little dark spot right here. I want it to be faded in better. So there's me just going at it. And even the no guard is barely getting it. If you have to, inch it up a little bit because it's not cutting it. But you don't want to go too drastic. You don't want to go here because then I'll probably bald it out and you just got a bald spot in your beard. You drastically, or you slightly increase it. And you can see it's pretty much faded out now. And I created no guidelines. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with a 2. I'm not gonna draw a guideline, but I'm gonna work my way through the lever. So if just like I did on the other side, I will go an inch down and make all this hair from here to here a 2. So instead of creating that guideline, I'm gonna start from the line on the one open, and by the time I'm gonna work the lever all the way to a 2 open until I get to here. So 2 closed. I'm attacking this line, and this side's easier than the other side because the other side you have the cowlick right here, so your hair flows one way and down. Now I'm attacking at that line from the one open, listening and looking. I'm listening to hear it cut, and I'm looking to see if it's fading the line away, which it is. Move it down. And I use my corners a lot because I don't want to take too much off at a time. I use corners a lot. Some of your hairs are growing this way, so I go with the clippers that way. I go with the clippers that way to go against it and cut it. Now I'm opening it up more, which means I go down just a little bit more. By the time I get here, I want to be at a 2 open, which would essentially be me creating the guideline and then working that line down. But instead of me creating a guideline, I start straight from the one open and it starts fading downward. That's the basis of the fade. And if you see little dark spots, that's when you start doing detail work. But this side pretty much was a lot more forgiving than the other side. So this side blended in more. I don't have to do too much detail work. I don't even have to go to the 1/2. But I'm gonna do it to get it a little more blurrier. So between the 1 and the 2 is the 1.5. And it's pretty much, like a barbershop would let you walk out like this. It's pretty much faded. For me, I like it to be way more blurrier. So I'm gonna do a little more detail work. I like the fades to look a lot more blurrier. So I'm gonna start with the 1.5, halfway open. You don't have to do this. Like I said, if you look at it now from the camera, it is pretty much blended in. This is me just doing detail work. But now your beard is pretty much looking really, really, that gradient on it is really well done. And I didn't do it the traditional style where I went open, created a guideline like that, and worked from the top of the guideline down. Essentially, I just did the opposite of that. I worked from the top, slowly went down, and opened up to 11, which is the same thing as the other side. On the other side, you make it all one lane, and then you create the gradients by going down from the top. That this way cuts out the middleman. But yeah, that's essentially how I do your beard. And this side is way more forgiving.